Hi, my starlights. Welcome to part two of the Year of the Wood Snake 2025 and Year of the Fire Horse 2026. I left a lot of points. And it was such a long video, so I had to wrap it up. So, anyways, I meant to say that 2025 Year of the Wood Snake, I had to shed my skin, right? So I had to shed people out of my life. So it was good people, neutral, and like bad people out of my life, right? And then my spiritual deep awakenings and enlightenment happened during my mat leave last year. And the reason why it was perfect alignment time is because that I could focus on remembering. So let me give you highlights about those two. So I finally got to discover who my guardian angels were and my connections to them. And I finally got to experience my galactic family and discover them as well. I finally took out the root of my family generational trauma, which I already made a video on that, so you can watch that. So I am going to make videos of everything about my life, about my spiritual journey, but we're still at the beginning. I'm just giving you highlights just because it's we're gonna get there. We're gonna talk about it and stuff. I learned about that I am from Source, and I actually learned about Source's true name, and I found a name that connects us closer to Source's real name as well. But I don't think I'm allowed to speak of the words yet because the collective is not really ready yet for that kind of truth. We are progressing, and like I said, it's the year of the fire horse, so it will people are gonna start to progress into their awakenings and their gifts and stuff. So and remembering who they are, which is really really exciting. I'm really excited to see what will happen for 2026, but we won't know because it really depends on everyone. Why? Because everyone has free will. And with free will, you get to choose and decide how you want to live your life, right? So it really starts with your mindset, right? It starts with your mindset about whether you're open minded or not. If you're willing to trust and be open to things that are not familiar to you or things that you have not been taught. And also the thing about spirituality is not seeing is believing. Spirituality is more about feelings, emotions, sounds, lights, and all that. So anyways, let's go back to what I was doing about my deep spiritual awakenings and stuff. So angels, my galactic family. I did know about my dragons, but I ended up like discovering who they are and talking to them more too. And I ended up talking to Fae, ended up talking to like ascended masters, ended up talking to gods and goddesses, and my true connection to Aphrodite, which we're still talking about. We have not talked about the true connection to Aphrodite yet. I've posted some stories, but it's a very long. My story is very long, so I'm gonna try to label it as well as good as I can. And then what else? Yeah, unlocking more gifts, right? Unlocking more gifts, like I was saying before. I used to only be like knowing about manifestation before, but now I know about alignment. So now my manifestations flourish more because we're using conscious and subconsciousness into everything, creating into reality, working with source. And then I learned before I learned about crystals and how to cleanse them, but then now I learned that you don't need all those tools. And before I used to know like I still know how to do tarot and like pendulum and rods and stuff. But the thing is, those are tools too. You don't like once you really awaken and remember who you are, you don't even need those tools anymore. Those are just beginning steps, right? Same with astrology. If you guys really girlies or bros really like astrology, that is the beginning and the gateway of your spirituality as well, being curious of the unknown as well. So like I said before, I used to be very beginning of my spirituality, but now I'm deep in into knowing and remembering now, because before I thought it was about discovering, but it's not about discovering, it's about remembering. So changing the mindset from 4D to 5D, but not just 4D to 5D, because once you expand your consciousness, you actually expand more into other Ds. Like when you channel, apparently channeling is like 9D or whatever. So every certain gift that you do, it's different dimensional frequencies. What else? Is there anything else I need? Hold on.